critique I believe that you might have heard myself and the Foreign Minister make, as well as President Biden. We quite clearly said that we had a Pacific step up. I described what occurred earlier this year as a Pacific stuff up, that we hadn't paid enough attention, and I know that the Biden administration has said that as well. I very much welcome the increased engagement of the United States in the region. It's a significant support package that they've announced, increased diplomatic presence, increased support in the form of aid, increased support in the form of infrastructure development here. And it's consistent as well with the decisions that we made at the Quad Leaders Summit in Tokyo just a short time ago. When we met in Tokyo, the leaders of the United States, Australia, Japan and India, of course, launched an economic presence in the region, and that is very important. The United States is an important partner of the region, and Australia welcomes their renewed commitment. What I would say is that we very much welcome the Biden administration's increased presence in the region, just as the new Australian government have made a considerable effort. The Foreign Minister has been throughout this region, I think 3-4 times, can't remember, a lot, throughout this region on a personal basis. Personal relations between leaders are really important, and the Pacific Way, as it's called as well, is one in which you sit and you listen to each other and you engage on that personal level, and that is very important. That's why my presence here as the Prime Minister, I made comments during the election campaign that I was quite frankly stunned that in spite of the briefings and the foreshadowing of events in the region, all we saw was the former Senator Zed Seselja make a visit far too late. We didn't have that presence at prime ministerial or ministerial level, and I think that was an error of judgment on Australia's behalf at the time. What we're about though is looking forward and developing these positive relationships, and I've had a number of discussions with Pacific leaders. I look forward to developing those relationships on a personal basis going forward. Well, the message is very clear that the United States has a presence in the Pacific and has for a long period of time. They, of course, go into the Pacific in terms of their coastline, but also, of course, the state of Hawaii. And the presence of the US in the region is very important, and we welcome the increased engagement. I give Prime Minister Bainimarama is the host of this conference, and I give him credit for ensuring that the Vice President of the United States, a very significant figure, has been able to address this conference. That's something that Australia supports.